I'm primarily concerned with signs and symbols, how society, how people, how an object becomes sacred. Guitars are very symbolic. One of the most ubiquitous symbols for popular music in the country is the guitar.
In an industrial neighborhood east of downtown Lincoln, visual artist Charley Friedman is putting the final touches on a new work that's been years in the making.
How do you make something experiential, but not something that is just something that's done to you?
It's an idea the artist traces back to a sketch he created a decade ago, featuring a suspended constellation of guitars, basses, and mandolins.
There's an unpredictability there. It's not A to Z in one single shot. It's all over the place. It's A, it's J, it's B, it's Q. It's all over that. It's not a logical coordinate system. And that's what excites me.
Fast forward 10 years, and his art studio has become a maze of Ethernet cables, digital hubs, and dangling instruments, all connected to a computer that triggers each mechanical pick of a string as it plays music composed just for this guitar symphony. With no amplifiers, the volume level of each note depends entirely on the path and proximity chosen by the listener.
It is about that subjective experience, your own fate, how you choose things, how you don't choose things. It's very much about that. You sit in an audience and something is kind of fed to you. The listeners are over here and the players, the composers are over there, and it's left and right. And here I did not want that at all. I want minimum amount of contact with the string.
Charley had the vision, but had no idea how to execute it.
So much of it was out of my wheelhouse. I had to say like, hey, you know, I don't know how to write music. I have no idea how to mechanically design anything or design software.
Charley approached a mechanical engineering professor at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln.
And he said, I think I'll think about what grad student I can use. I'll get back to you. And all of a sudden, maybe a week passed, and he says, you know what? I'm going to stick my best computer programmer with you, my son. And I was like, your son? Like, he's in high school. The adjuster is awesome. It's a great idea, Luke. We don't have to take this whole thing apart to adjust it, and we can use a thicker pick and just glance along the top of that, and we get a brighter sound.
Luke is now a college sophomore, but he was only 15 when the two began working together 4 years ago. With a background in music and computer programming, he was the perfect fit.
I've always kind of been very techie growing up. I, like to tinker with things, like to build things.
I was thinking you could just put like 2 strings on here just to balance out the pressure.
For sure.
At the time, we didn't really kind of understand each other's brains, and we didn't kind of understand each other's world. I was very technical. I didn't really know what kind of themes he was going for. Didn't have a good picture of that.
They're just kind of stuck in there.
As we worked on the project together, we developed a better understanding of each other and also of the different worlds that we come from.
Charley and Luke realized their differences were an asset to the project.
Sometimes engineers, they look for logical solutions for results. And I don't have logical end results. I have metaphorical results. I have emotional results.
A lot of times, Charley will say, I want X, and I'll, think about this and say, listen, I think that's interesting, but maybe it would be a lot more efficient if we do Y.
3.
But Charley's not interested at all, because that completely ruins the aesthetics.
Yeah, 3.
It's a very, different way of thinking about things.
We need 2 more of these things and then all the mandolins.
I'm really not sure. That's kind of guesswork on my part.
Wait, what's that one?
But the pair was struggling with how to make it all work as one collective musical instrument that could make music, not just sound. That's when Luke had the pivotal idea of making each guitar serve as a piano key.
It's a B, so right there. Awesome.
It was really the miracle moment of the piece that we had been kind of waiting for to transform into a piece of artwork. And I think that's when the collaboration was like, it just sang.
As they put the finishing touches on the string machine, composer Greg Simon drew on his Chilean roots to create an original composition for for this unique instrumentation.
It's equal parts love letter and meditation on the role of the guitar in music generally, but especially popular music and folk music. I want this piece to feel as though there is a ghost in the room playing the guitars. And inside of it, embed all these really thinly veiled allusions to all of this music that I loved.
There you go. So having any sustained message afterwards gets rid of it. And the reason why...
But there were still technical challenges to resolve. Both composer and artist wanted the guitars to play in a random, unpredictable way.
Basically, we're getting to like the end of that big boom, 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 boom sort of part of the piece. But what's on the page right now isn't really working for me. So what I want to try is using an arpeggiator, which is basically a little plug-in within the program that randomizes the notes of the chord, that makes random arpeggios out of a chord.
Okay. And does it randomize it every single time it plays, or just one time?
Right now it's following a pattern.
If you feed it a collection of notes, it will randomly trigger those notes. And when you do things that way, it just becomes a much more elegant solution.
Yeah,
Awesome.
that's cool. I like that.
For me, it's just about the experience. You know, I love the experience of walking through it. I think that is just incredible. It's very ethereal, you know, very kind of heavenly almost.
Finally, this unique experiment in sound is ready for a potential national tour, beginning at Omaha's Bemis Center for Contemporary Arts.
This is a piece that I think really brings people into the space and introduces them to something that, wow, I've never thought about this, or, you know, we've had people refer to it as, you know, feeling like they're inside of a music box.
I want a 5-year-old child. I want an old person. I want a bona fide card member of the art world, and someone who thinks it's all BS to be able to come in here and to get it and to get something out of it. That's really important. And that's why music, organized sound, is so important, because it can bridge that gap and bring people together. And then there's a servo.
Laura Brackney, visiting from Texas, is in her final year of a doctoral program in music composition.
I love this piece. It's so cool. It's immersive, it's multimedia. It's different from other maybe automated analog computer things because you actually get to walk through it and experience it in different ways.
Very, very, very nice.
It's nice how it's different.
Yeah, because it brings it to different, not one plane.
It's like a cloud.
Like a cloud, okay, yeah.
The most powerful aspect of it is how the participant experiences this and how they're not in awe of any bells and whistles. You take all these different parts and you hope that the sum of all the parts make a bit of magic.